What's up, you guys? In this video today, we are going to be unveiling one of the deepest, darkest secrets of the vintage luxury community. So if you want to know some tips and tricks on how to get luxury for cheap, then I'm here to stop the gatekeeping, and I'm here to open the gates and let everyone in. If you don't know who I am, my name is Ishi. On this channel, I talk about something very near and dear to my heart, which is luxury fashion. So if you're into that, then go ahead and stick around and let's learn some luxury secrets. So you can probably guess the title of this video is Luxury Shopping in Japan. So if you didn't know, Japan is one of the biggest markets for secondhand luxury. I think it has something to do with the big economic boom they had in the 80s. They were one of the richest countries in the world, and so a lot of them were buying luxury goods. As the economy started to be stagnant, a lot of people either sold because they were no longer using it, needed the money, a variety of reasons, but it is very much a part of Japanese culture to indulge in luxury in lots of different ways. One of those ways is designer ready-to-wear. So because of that, they have this huge market for people that like to buy pre-loved goods. Alright, so first off, let's just say you're in Japan, right? You're there in person, you're visiting Tokyo or any of the other cities. Where are you gonna go to find these things? So some of the stores that I would recommend are, if you're looking specifically for chrome hearts, I think that Rincon has some of the best selection of chrome hearts. I've been to their Ginza store, which is amazing. They also have tons of Louis Vuitton. They're very streetwear oriented, so you'll find a lot of the Virgil pieces there. And I would say they are more of a rare collectibles shop than a necessarily vintage shop. So if you're looking for things that you missed out on, capsule collections from the past 5 or so years, then I think Rincon would be a great store to visit. You also can't talk about luxury shopping in Japan without mentioning Amore. Amore is in the Omotesando district, which is the luxury shopping district of Minato City. The great thing about Omotesando is that it blends almost seamlessly into Harajuku, and so you're going to be able to hit a lot of high-end boutiques and thrift stores. So it's a great way to sort of see all of your options. You get to see the regular vintage stores, you get to see the pre-loved luxury vintage, and you also get to see the new in-season designer boutiques and all of their stores there too. I would say Amore is a good place to go if you're looking for handbags or accessories. They have a lot of vintage Dior, vintage Fendi, vintage Chanel, vintage Louis Vuitton. They're a great place to go to if you want to pick up something from the 2000s or the 90s or even the 80s. The thing about Japanese vintage and why it is regarded so highly within the luxury fashion community is because Japan actually has very, very high standards for what they resell. For example, there might be a European or American-based site that will mark an item as very good condition when there is a minor scratch. In Japan, it would be considered like D-tier condition if there was a minor scratch. Because of that, imperfections tend to get an item marked down quite significantly. So if you can find something actually that has a little bit of wear and tear, you might get a really, 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 really good deal for it because they take that very seriously in Japan. Now, once you start heading into Harajuku from Omotesando, you're gonna be heading in the direction of Casanova Vintage. Casanova Vintage is another great place, similarly to Rincon, where you can find collector's pieces from the recent decade. So this is the kind of place where if you're looking for that like really specific, you know, like runway coat that just never hit the floors, you know, that $5,000 Balenciaga puffer that you would just never see in a boutique, this is the place where you're gonna find it. They also have some great like limited edition bags. I know they had some Louis Vuitton Supreme pieces. They also had this like hard side Heaven on Earth Virgil bag that I had never actually seen that variation before, because I've seen the wallet version that I have. I've seen the soft trunk version. I've never seen the hard side trunk mini version. So, you know, if you're looking for like a really special piece that is still a little bit more recent, I definitely check out Casanova Vintage. The thing about Casanova Vintage is they're expensive. You know, one of the things that makes Tokyo a great place to shop right now specifically for luxury is just the fact that the dollar is really, really amazing to the yen right now. So if you're there shopping in person, you're not only going to be able to get, you know, whatever in-store promotion they're doing, which is how I got one of my items. You know, when I bought this very special item. So if you're in Japan, it's great to go to a vintage luxury shop, because you're going to get a great deal on any promotions they might have, on top of the tax-free, on top of the amazing exchange rate. So Casanova is definitely, it's a bit on the pricier side. I wouldn't go in there expecting to walk out with a vintage bag for 150 bucks, you know, but I think if you're looking for a rare piece, you're still gonna get the tax-free, and you're still going to get the amazing exchange rate, because I believe that their prices are still priced for Japan. So, you know, even if something were to say cost about 4,000 US dollars, if you went to Casanova, it would be, you know, maybe 40,000 yen, but that would be, or sorry, that'd be about 400,000 yen, but 400,000 yen is not the same as 4,000 US dollars. You understand what I mean? So now, once you found your way into Harajuku, there are a couple other stores that you can visit. These ones would be a little bit on the lower end spectrum of luxury vintage. It's a little bit more thrifty. It's more vintage designer with some streetwear mixed in there. And you've really got to look, because they have tons of product. The stores that I would recommend in this tier would be something like Ragtag. Ragtag has a good selection of Japanese designers. So they have a lot of Comme des Garçons. They have a lot of Junya Watanabe. They've also got some great Japanese streetwear. So if you're into needles, they have some pretty good price needles. They also did have a little bit of a selection of Gucci. They had some Fendace pieces, of course, you know, Balenciaga, Maison Margiela, you know, all of that. I would just say that the thing is that there's so many Ragtag locations that it's much easier to look online. And I'll get to that. If you're not in Tokyo, we're gonna get to that, so stay tuned. But yeah, there's just so many Ragtag locations that it's really specific to where you are. I've only been to the Harajuku location, so definitely I would check online for more options. Now, if you're gonna, another store that people recommend is Second Street. Second Street to me is wild. It's crazy. It's a hunt in mounds and mounds of clothing. I'm sure you can find a good deal there if you look hard enough. I would just use a website and find out what's in their inventory personally before even going in the store, even if you are in Tokyo, because it's a lot of clothes to look through. And if that's your thing, then by all means, go ahead. But that gave me way too much anxiety. With Ragtag and Second Street, they also do like an on-site selling system, so you're able to make an appointment to come in with your clothes and sell them. That's one of the things that I did actually. I went in and I brought them a few items. I ended up only selling one of them, and it's mostly because they're gonna lowball you, and they are not gonna give you what you want on these items, especially because it's in yen compared to dollars. So some of the things I brought in, as an example, I brought these into Ragtag, and I waited so long, so it was a waste of my time. I brought in this Balenciaga shirt, alright? I just wasn't feeling it anymore. I bought this full price from Farfetch for about $650. They were offering me 10,000 yen, I think. Or like, I think 15,000 yen, which is about $100, give or take. I just couldn't. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. Like, I spent way too much money on this. I just figured I would try to sell it in my own time. That's the thing. If you're like really wanting the money now, then the services are there. But if you have the time to just sit on it, I would just put it on a website like Vestiaire or something and get a little bit more money from it when someone that is willing to pay more comes along. The other thing that I brought to them was this skirt from Versace that I had bought in Taipei. I also bought this from the boutique for about $1,700 US. Do you want to know what they offered me? They offered me, I think, 7,000 yen, which was about like 47 US. They offered me 47 US, 47 US for this skirt. There was no way in hell I was gonna do that. What I did end up selling to them was my Balenciaga Phantoms. I had already bought those pre-loved for about $250. So I sold them for 20,000 yen. They just weren't doing what I needed them to do. I bought them initially for breakdancing, and because the heel was made of plastic, it wasn't like hitting the floor correctly, and it almost felt dangerous to dance in them. So I felt like ready to part with them, and I just felt like, oh, well, 20,000 in Tokyo is like $200. So if I spend it in Tokyo, then I'm basically making about what I bought for them. So I'm not really losing money per se. And I also put it towards the purchase that I made in Tokyo anyways. So the cycle of life continues, but yeah. Alright, so if you're not in Japan, what are your options? Something that I would do is I would actually look on eBay. If you look on eBay and you type something like Gucci jacket, and you go through and look at some of the things, if you ever find anything that says that it's shipping from Japan, chances are it's shipping from one of these boutiques. And so what you can do is you can look for things, filter shipping from Japan on eBay, and then you can go to this site called Bai, where it will, which is a sort of like middleman shipper for Japanese auction sites, and you'll be able to, like, 9 out of 10 times find that same item. What's up, you guys? I am editing this video right now, and I just wanted to give a little bit more like clarity on these sites like Bai. So from what I know, there's two different sites you can use. There's bai.jp and then there's Zen Market. Both of those are going to be really similar. They basically are like proxy middlemen that ship to their warehouses from Japan, and then from their warehouses they ship to your house. This is going to be the best way to purchase from Japan, whether it's figurines or technology, or within this context, luxury fashion. So far I have only used Zen Market because I had some weird issues purchasing on Bai. It just like was giving me an error. So I purchased through Zen Market. I literally just put that order in like right now. So we are going to go on this journey together and see what that's like. But so far so good. I purchased an item that came from 2nd Street. So it's going to be shipping from 2nd Street to the Zen Market warehouse, and then I'm going to ship it from the Zen Market warehouse to my house. Now, whether you're in Japan or not, I definitely highly recommend going to these websites. A lot of them will have an English setting, and some of them do ship internationally. I know Rinkan does, and I believe Casanova Vintage also does. They're likely going to charge you duties, and you'll probably still have to pay tax. But again, some of these are like really rare collector's items. Also, if you're able to go on the website, if you are in Tokyo, let's say that there is, for example, for me, there was something that I wanted that I believe was like in Nagoya or something. It was like in a city way far away. I would have had to like take a train for like an hour. I was able to get them to just ship it to the store in Ginza. And so when I went to Ginza, they had it, I tried it on, I loved it, and I bought it. If you're interested in what that item is, I am going to be doing a What I Bought in Japan video soon, so stay tuned for that. But I really hope that this helped you guys in your luxury journey. I mean, something that I really want to do is help people find out how accessible this is, you know? There isn't only going into the Louis Vuitton and buying the new season stuff for thousands of dollars. If you're really like a critical thinker, you use your brain, if you like to really like go on the hunt, you know, this is another tool that you can use to get some of your dream pieces, dream items, and pay way less than you normally would have, and you have the comfort of knowing that it's authentic, because Japan takes their authenticity very seriously. But that was my luxury shopping experience in Tokyo with the secondhand stores. I really hope it's gonna help some of you get some of the pieces you've been wanting, and if you want more videos like this, then you know where to find me. You know, as always, thank you guys for watching. If you have any video ideas, please leave them below, and see you guys on the next video.